Hey, welcome back, everybody, to episode number 5 of our weekly series with Athletic Director Scott Battas from Muscuda High School and his series on how to create a student-athlete leadership team at your school. We'll be right back with Scott, but first, as always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. It's only going to take a couple minutes, so please stay with us. This is the Educational AD Podcast. We want to say thanks to Hometown for their support of the podcast. Things like digital ticketing, fee-free fundraising, athletic website construction, you're going to find all that and more at Hometown. Whether you're an athletic director, a coach, even a principal, Hometown's going to show you how to save time. They're going to show you how to raise more money, and they're going to show you how to bring your community together. You're going to find it all at hometown.com. Athletic surveys by LifeTrack is another stop you're going to want to make. At my school, we use surveys for everything, for student athletes, for coaches, even for our parents. And the information that we got, both positive and room for improvement, was tremendously valuable. Go to athleticsurveys.com to get started. They're going to create a custom survey just for your school that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. That's athleticsurveys.com. We want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to their website, sidelineinteractive.com. You can schedule a live web demo to see all the great products in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com to get started. Let's say thanks to Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years. As an AD, we were a Huddle school. And our coaches, our student athletes, even our parents just love the Huddle platform. Go to huddle.com, join the millions of users, and turn your school into a Huddle school. That's huddle.com. We want to say thanks to Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. My assistant athletic director, along with thousands of others, got his master's through the Ohio program, and while they were all earning their degree, they also completed 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. I want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame for their support and encourage you to check out their website of video boards and their content creation service, Beacon Creative. Wall of Fame's talented team of writers and designers is going to take your history, your stories, your coaches, your kids, and come up with compelling narratives that you can then post on social media. You really got to see it to believe it. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their products today. Make sure you click on Content Services. We want to thank our friends at Booster Hub, the #1 Booster Club software. If you work with your Booster Club, you know that volunteer signups and volunteer changes can happen at any time. Well, with Booster Hub, nothing falls through the cracks. Everybody stays connected. The same is true for sponsorship fees and concession sales. Everything's tracked. Everything is secure with the Booster Hub platform. Go to boosterhub.com for more information. Let's say thanks to Home Campus. Things like scheduling, rosters, results, communication, facilities, eligibility. Home Campus does this and more, does it better and faster than the other platforms. Go to homecampus.com to get started. Let's say thanks to Gipper. You know, your school's doing great stuff, and Gipper helps you promote your coaches, your kids, your program using their thousands of professionally designed templates that you can then customize with your logos, your brands, your colors. Gipper makes it easy to promote, create, and schedule all your social media in one simple platform. And that platform is Gipper. Go to Gipper.com. And finally, let's say thanks to our good friends at Hometown, Athletic Surveys, Sideline Interactive, Huddle, Ohio University, Wall of Fame, Booster Hub, Home Campus, and Gipper one more time. Thanks again. for visiting all these great sponsors. And make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Educational AD Podcast. Hey, welcome back to everybody to the Educational AD Podcast and the fifth installment of our weekly series featuring Athletic Director Scott Battas from Mascoutah High School. Scott is a certified master athletic administrator, and for the last several weeks, he's been presenting a weekly series on how you can create a student athlete leadership team at your school. Scott's recognized as a leader both in his state and nationally, and this is one of, I think, his favorite things to talk about, promoting students and how they can help you promote your school. So, Scott, welcome back to the podcast. And what do you have for our listeners this week on how to build a student-athlete leadership team?
Well, thanks for having me back, Jake. This is fun for me, and like you mentioned, getting to talk about our kids and actually not only what we can do for them, but what they do for us to help us in our profession. And we've been talking about leadership programs, and I think there's a million different ways to do things. I don't ever believe, and I think it's important people understand that the way Scott Battas and Mascoutah do things, everybody else needs to. I think what's been very humbling in our profession, in my opinion, is how many people are willing to share what they do. And I think all of us are doing the things that we've taken as best practices from other people, other programs, and tried to make them our own. Just blessed to love what I do, and I think the energy that we put into our stuff here is just a product of something that we've found from other people that they do well. So, we talked about last time what kind of critical topics are important to discuss and kind of kicking off your meetings. That's one of the three areas of focus of our leadership team meetings on Wednesdays, is that critical topic discussion. The second most important thing that I feel like we interject into those leadership sessions is toolbox time. And like I talked about with the critical discussion, we may make these all part of one big discussion on a Wednesday, but we also may segment these out and do separate Wednesdays and focus just on one of these things: critical topic discussion, now toolbox time. And if we feel like the lesson is powerful enough on its own, we'll just spend the whole time talking about one of these areas. Talking about toolbox time is easy for me because I love giving our student athletes different resources, different tools, different methods of doing things. And when we get to toolbox time discussions, it's basically giving our student athletes something tangible to apply to their life, but more importantly, to apply back to their programs. Because after all, what we're trying to do in our leadership development and our leadership program is give these kids small bits of information to take back to their programs and ultimately make the programs better, not just the kids. So, we want to be able to find things that really help them. Again, relatable things that help them feel like they're a huge part of their programs, and actually give them some very, very important knowledge that they can use and bring back to their teammates. So, what toolbox time is about are these things, these tools, these methods, and I'm going to give you some examples of things we've used in toolbox time that have really helped our students and our programs be successful. One of them is a vision board template, and I've got this from many other athletic directors in the past and kind of made it our own. I have a template I use on a Google slide sheet that basically allows them to put together a vision board that fits perfectly on their cell phone. Now, why the cell phone? Well, kids these days, like I said before, we talk about the kids changing. The kids haven't changed, our expectations have. We allow them now to use cell phones and be on them more than they probably should, more than they really need to. It's part of their life. So we need to be able to get into those important parts of their life that they feel are significant, to try to remind them why they're doing things and what they can do better every single day. So this vision board template goes on their cell phone, and when they open their cell phone, it's the first thing they see. And what I try to have them do is put 15 to 20 different things on there that they believe benefit their life every day. Maybe their parents, maybe their brother and sisters, might be the Bible, might be a picture of a treadmill to remind them that's something that's important to them to work out, lifting weights. Might be healthy food. It might be their pet. It might be a teacher. It may be a couple words that reminds them to be a good person every single day and to make better choices. So whatever they can find to put on there. And I also show them the example of mine with my sons playing catch on there as a picture of a date night to remind me it's important to spend time with my wife and different things. It also has a Bible on there. It has state championship trophies. I don't want to lose focus of what we're trying to do here. I know winning isn't important, but it's fun, and we like to have fun, and winning is fun. I don't want I don't want to ever lighten the value of winning. Winning is important, and a lot of times we try to get away from that. I feel like to kind of soften the blow of not having success. Winning is important. If it wasn't important, we wouldn't keep score. We wouldn't spend all this time developing programs. We wouldn't practice hard. We wouldn't give our coaches templates to be successful. We wouldn't have them turn in practice plans. We wouldn't make them do the things it takes to be successful. So being successful is important, but also, that's a foundational. That is just simply a foundational piece of culture. And I think building your culture through these athletic leadership programs is huge. The vision board is one piece. I think you can spend a whole day talking to your kids about a vision board, how important it is, and the things they can put on there to be successful. It's been a great piece. It's something that we'll do every year. We'll come back to it here in August, just as the year gets started, to remind them to put things on there that are going to get them to their very best every single day. Hopefully, they're putting some things on there that you've talked about in the past. Some of those things that will help them, get the first hour with a positive attitude. That's my goal every single day, is to send those kids out of there with a positive attitude. Another resource that we have given them that has been really successful for some kids is a time blocking chart. And what it is basically a weekly calendar. It's got our logos on it. It's got the Nike logo on it. It's got everything they like to see. It's got our EAT logo on it. And it has space every single day for them to block their day. And I tell them, it's important for you to put on that time blocking sheet, roll out of bed. What time you're going to get out of bed? What time you're going to eat breakfast? You've already got your classes on there. You know when those are. What time you're going to eat lunch? How long are you going to spend eating lunch? Maybe the full 30 minutes, or maybe 15 minutes eating lunch, 15 minutes reading a motivational story to get you going for the second half of the day. Put on there what time you're going to go to practice. Put on there what time you're going to get home from practice. Put on there what you're going to do when you get home from practice. Are you going to play PlayStation? Are you going to do something for your family? Are you going to be productive in some way? But I have found that on a personal level, the more you write down, the more you're going to accomplish every single day. The last person you want to let down is yourself. So when you make these promises to yourself by writing things down, you are more apt to make those things happen. And so giving them this sheet that they can carry with them in their binder every single week. And I have one too. I use the same sheet that I keep on my desk during the year with everything on it. It looks just like this, actually. And this is the sheet that we give our kids. And they fill that out, hopefully. And they don't all do it. Let's face it. Not every single kid's going to leave there and follow every single instruction you give them. But that's another tool that we feel kids can use to be successful. And then another great tool that we give them is suggestions on daily readers too. There are some books that have some great insight and some very short chapters that we feel like kids we can put in a kid's hands, or give them a link to that book or story. They can give them some insightful things to apply to their day, to their practice, to their life. And we believe in those things too. It's something that simple to where you can flip them a quote or a link to a simple read that can help them get through the day. The last tool that I really want to talk about that's really beneficial for us is we give what we call student athlete leadership pencils. Okay. Now I'll give all of our kids one of these pencils at the beginning of our leadership meetings this year in August. But what I also do is I tell their teachers, if you find a reason where one of our student athletes deserves to be rewarded on a personal level, you let me know, and I'll head up to their classroom in front of all of their classmates, and I'll award them a student athlete pencil for something they've done that's extraordinary in the classroom, something that's that's not ordinary, something that's different, something that takes leadership ability, something that takes extra time, something that maybe most people consider little things that they did not, and it turned out to be a big deal. So I think giving them this method of reward for doing the things that we're asking them to apply every day is just another valuable thing. Kids might act like they don't care. They might act shy, when they get these things. But these are meaningful. These are very meaningful things in our program, just like our EAT bracelets are when we hand those out for the energy, attitude, and toughness winners each week. When kids can get these reminders that they've done something um, that's above and beyond what we consider normal or what everyone else is doing, we like to reward them, and that's just another tool you can use. There are a million tools that you can use as a topic for discussion in your leadership program. I think that the more tools kids can use to apply to success, the better off they'll be, and the more that you give them, the more they're going to use. Because if you only give kids two things throughout the entire year that help them, the chances are really slim that most of the kids are going to use one of those two things. But when you continue to present them with ways to be successful and tools to help them be successful, the more you present them, the more they're going to have available to them, the more they're going to use them to help themselves, help their programs, help their life. And so I don't think you can have too many tools, and I think it's important to continue to hand them things, to show them things, to help them be successful. So that's it for this segment. But there's plenty of discussion within the tools and the process we use to give them those. And if I could ever be a help in giving you some ideas within your programs, I'd be glad to do so. But it's going to be very rewarding for you to be able to come up with your own tools and your own things that you feel like are significant for your program, because we're all very different. And hopefully you can find some things that you really find have been available to you all along, and you just found how resourceful they can be for your kids.
Again, I just love this series because of the little things, the details that you keep sharing that have helped build your program. The student recognition, the different subjects that you can talk about, going into another class and giving a kid a pencil. I mean, just great stuff. This is the stuff that, this is why we've got you on presenting this show. Scott, we talk about it every week, but let's do it again. If one of our listeners wants to reach out, they can't wait for next week. They want to know more. What's the best way that they can connect with you at Mascoutah High School?
Yeah, so email is the easiest way to get a hold of me. My email address is my last name with an extra S, BATTASS at msd19.org. Glad to chat. You can also follow me on Twitter at Coach B83. I try to share some leadership stuff on there. I do actually share a lot of what we talk about in our leadership programs on there. So feel free to tap into that. You can go back on that and find some really good information as well. So anything we can do to help.
Yeah, and check out Scott's episodes on our Spotify volume. Just a couple of segments that he's done have just been fantastic prior to his current series that he's doing right now. Scott, we'll see you next time. For listeners, we want to say thanks, and just a reminder that we upload the Zoom recordings of every single interview to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We do this one every week and just about every day. We try to share stories and best practices for ADs, coaches, and leaders. So please come back and join us again on the next episode of the Educational AD Podcast. And before we go, guess what? We want to give a shout out to our sponsors one final time. Hometown, Huddle, Ohio University, Gipper. I want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive and Athletic Surveys. Let's say thank you to Booster Hub, Home Campus, and Vital Signs Wall of Fame Beacon Creative. Please make sure you check out these sponsors. You're going to be very glad you did. And thanks for listening to the Educational AD Podcast.